Welcome back to Rocketship Weekly Outlook. The one and only Nick Askin, joined by my lovely co-host, Aaron Algave. Aaron, it's been a while,
Salute.
man. How are you doing?
It's been a while. We took a hiatus just like Jordan did from basketball, but we're back.
We're
We're
back.
stronger than ever, and we're ready
Yep.
to get started here. So,
Yeah,
Nick,
big season coming up.
huge season. And speaking of the season, we're going to start off with our way too early season predictions. Talk to me, man. Who you got? Who do you like? Who do you dislike?
There's a lot of horses in this race, but to be honest, there's always one that's going to be the favorite, and that favorite's got to be Mark to start off the season strong. You look at the way he just performs on a consistent basis, and he
Mm-hmm.
obviously has a higher artillery of skill moves than the rest of us in the club. And I think that'll carry him through. And unless some cheese does affect him, but at the end of the day, Mark's got to be the favorite out of the gate.
Yeah, I agree with you. Out of the 54 points up for grabs through 18 games, I have Mark obtaining 44 points. Um, he's been talking a lot of smack. He said that he could take all 18 games. I was actually talking to him earlier, but I think he'll horse around too much. I think he'll drop some points, especially to me and you. And you never know. I have myself right behind him at 39 points, and then you. But at the bottom of the table, we have Tyler with 25, Con with 18. Louis with 9 points. The middle is, close, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, I agree completely with your bottom three there. I think you hit the nail on the head. Um, Tyler, Con, and Louis can all be interchanged within each other. It just depends who wins the matchups between them. To be honest, I think Louis is
Right.
definitely at the bottom of the table. I think Tyler and Con will probably be close between points. Honestly, I probably have them finishing at the same number of points just because they're both just
Mm-hmm.
wild cards. But top of the table, Mark. I like Alex second, and slotting third. I'm gonna put me and you tied at third. So I think it'll be a long season, and I think some people are gonna try to separate themselves, but I think at the end of the day, we're all kind of similar in skill level up to about five players,
Right.
5 or 6 players. I think it'll come down to a pretty tight season.
Well, what do you think about that cat Daniel? He's making a resurgence in FIFA. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Daniel FIFA 20, so he's like kind of coming out of the into the unknown here, and
Mm-hmm.
honestly, I know he has the talent. It's like when Jordan came back from baseball, he didn't have the fitness to compete with just all the other people, even though he's better than people. So
Yeah.
it's just, can Daniel put a full 90 minutes on in FIFA 20 and come away with 3 points every game? And I don't know if he can consistently do that.
Right, he's got to be ready for the cheese and the sweat and everything that comes with that. Moving right along to our week one outlook. So, just to preface, Nick and I decided to do week one and week two in the same video. So, starting with week one outlook and predictions. So, we'll start with the worst game of the week that's actually being played right now. That's Tyler versus Louis. Who do you like in this one, Nick?
Man, this game is got born written all over it. Louis, we all know, is just, he can't play, and Tyler, yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Tylers like Daniel, but I for a fact know Daniel's better than Tyler. But I'm gonna give Tyler the benefit of the doubt here. The fact that Louis is so bad, I'm gonna give him a draw here. I'm gonna go 1-1.
Interesting. I agree that this is quite a boring one. Probably a lot of drop back and possession. I actually like Tyler in this one, 3-1, simply because I see him on pro clubs a little more, so I feel like he's got an edge over Louis on this one.
All
We'll
right.
go to the next matchup on our slate, which is Mark against Parker. Mark is Dortmund and Parker is Spurs. What do you think of this one?
Parker just always seems that Mark's number, but if we're being honest here, it'd be a letdown for Mark to start off the season on the wrong foot. I got a nice Mark beat down 4-1.
I mean, I'd love to take a draw here, but I feel like Mark is, he's going to come out the gate slinging. We'll go Mark 5-2 here in a high scoring matchup.
All
Moving
right.
right along, we got Khan versus Daniel, Liverpool versus PSG. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, this is Daniel's game, first game back in action. Khan, a pretty easy opponent to start off with. Not a lot of talent there, and you're gonna get some Khan balls thrown into the mix. But I could see this game being a lot closer than the pundits might think. So I'm gonna go with a 2-1 Daniel win, but it's a late Daniel goal, like 87th minute type stuff.
Yeah, Daniel's coming out. He's got a point to prove here. I know he had a warm up against Mark and he got crushed. I think Daniel's gonna come out and win this game 3-2 off of a rebound after he hit the post, but we'll see what happens. Next up, we got myself versus Ethan. I'm Bayern. Ethan's Real Madrid. I don't know, Nick. Talk to me.
This man Ethan, he's a silent but deadly type of guy. He'll come in and he'll beat you, and you're like, damn, that was really Ethan outplayed me. And I'm thinking, it's a tight game. You obviously have gotten a lot of reps in recently, so I think that'll help you a lot. Who the hell knows what Ethan's doing in Texas? For that reason, Ethan does play a very possession game, so I do find a low scoring game coming. I'm gonna go 2-1 U in this game. But I think once Ethan gets up to speed, I could definitely see him being a contender late this season.
Yeah, appreciate that, bud. Ethan's a tough opponent. In FIFA 19, he had his days with the crosses, but I feel like it's not as prevalent in FIFA 20. I have gotten my reps in. I feel like I should squeeze this one out 3-2, but Ethan's a good opponent. I apologize for disrespecting him on the odds earlier. And finally, we have, drumroll please, the game of the week. Nick versus Alec. I'll start since you're playing in this one. Man City versus Barca. This is arguably the 2 versus the 3. Nick's been struggling on a weekend league. Alec's been talking his shit. I'm going to go Alec here. 4-2 win over Nick with a Messi hat trick. That's what I think. I'm going to speak it into existence. Nick, what do you think?
Yeah, I haven't seen a lot of games against Alex. I've played him once or twice this year, and I think he beat me both times. So, when I was told, Nick, you're gonna get second, I said, no, I think Alex better than me. And honestly, I think it's the first game, and figuring these teams out might create a little bit of an even playing field. So I expect it to be a fairly close game. Me and Alex usually play pretty low scoring games as well. So, I'm gonna honestly go with a 1-0 Alec win. I don't think I get on the score sheet against him, but I don't think it's a runaway either. So.
That's quite the take. We'll see what happens. And as we head into the international break, which is week 2, we'll move right into the matchups, starting with the worst matchup of the week, which involves Tyler again. I'm sorry, Tyler. It's Tyler versus Alec. Tyler is Portugal and Alec is Brazil with the no-name scrubs. What do you think, Nick?
Hey, look here. Tyler hasn't played a lot of FIFA. Alec is a very good FIFA player. I don't see this game being close. I got Alex 3-0.
I would usually agree with you on this one, but I'm going to go with the hot take here. I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw.
Ooh, we got an upset alert.
We got an upset alert simply because Tyler has Portugal and Alec has these no-name scrubs. You never know what's going to happen. So hopefully Tyler can steal.
Oswaldinho and Evertinho, whatever their names are. I don't know what FIFA is doing with the Brazil national team, but hey, he's got Neymar.
Got Neymar, baby. Moving right along into our next matchup is Mark versus Ethan. Mark is Belgium and Ethan is Germany. What do you think of this one?
I feel like Ethan always has Mark's number, and for something Ethan does just annoys Mark. So I could see this being one of the games where Mark drops points. So for that reason, I have it a 2-2 draw.
You know what? I usually I'd agree with you on that one, but I think Mark just continues right along, steamrolls Ethan 3-0. We'll just leave it at that.
The real question is not how this game is played, but when it is played, because it's Ethan and this man. He didn't
might be 2 months from now.
Exactly. So we're just praying that it actually gets played. It'll be a good one.
It'll be a belter. Moving right along is myself versus Daniel in an interesting matchup, I think so. I am Holland and Daniel is England. What do you think, Nick?
It's a nice Hollywood matchup of close friends for a while. So this game is personal. This is like a Hollywood derby. So you never know what's going to happen in these type of games. But I think Daniel's still going to be catching up to speed at this point, and like I said, you got your reps in, and you're going to take advantage of that early on. So I got a 2-1 Aaron win over Daniel.
Yeah, and Daniel has school now too, starting tomorrow. So rip Daniel.
Yeah, this man's gonna have to try.
Just
some late night reps.
Late
And the
night
COD
reps.
talk, he's already at the top of the charts in COD.
Con, you're
Like
trash.
now it's time to get to the top of the charts in FIFA.
Alrighty, next up we have Nick versus Parker in an interesting matchup. I'll start with this one. Nick, I'm gonna keep it real with you. You're gonna draw this game because it's Parker. 3-3 I'm going with.
Wow. Yeah, I mean it's always interesting playing Parker. I remember last year, obviously he had a hot start, so hopefully he doesn't get off the hot start this time against me. I like my chances in this game. I think I can maintain a pretty comfortable game over Parker. I'm gonna go 3-1 win for me.
Sweet. And then finally we have our game of the week, aka Tank Bowl, aka Con versus Louis.
The Tank
Louis
Bowl, the
is
relegation bowl.
the relegation bowl. Louis is Argentina, and the Con is Spain. What do you think?
I mean, I don't know how Con's gonna play Spain. They're very slow, and Louis got Messi, so I think Louis able to honestly take a point out of this game. I'm gonna go 2-2.
2-2. Respect. I think Con's gonna squeeze this one out. Argentina's defense not great. Swiss cheese. Con, doesn't have the pace, but hopefully he can play some con ball, some zone passing. That'll get him 2 or 3 goals. We'll go with 3-2 Con.
All right.
And I think that wraps up our week 2 outlook.
Yeah.
That wraps up our first video.
Very excited for the season, and can't wait to get going. And honestly, I think as long as we finish this season, then we'll have something to be proud of. So.
Yep. Good luck, everybody. Stay safe. Wear a mask. God bless.
God bless.
Salute. Out.